I think he just does that shit on purpose. You know what I mean? He likes to make an entrance. He thinks this
Hey,
is wrestling.
he's a showman. I'll give him that. He's a showman. I'll give him
He's a
props for
showman.
that.
He is. All right, everybody, what's up? I know it's the day before the 4th of July, but as scheduled, here we are. Won't you say hello to the people, Vic?
What's up, everybody?
Silver?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm back.
He's back. We didn't scare him off. Baron is fashionably late, as usual. Black Bond is at the beach, he tells me. He got suspended on Twitter, so I had to hit him up on Steam. He said he was going to the beach. I said, oh, okay. There we go. There's Baron right there. Blaze is on vacation, so we won't have that back and forth between Baron and Blaze that you guys like so much. Baron, are you ready to do your little intro or what? All right, tell you what. I got a newcomer here. Now, this is my next door neighbor. This shit's going to sound a little crazy. I just recently started talking to this guy. Well, not recently. Maybe the past 2 years we've been talking. I've lived next door to the guy for 10 freaking years. We only just started talking 2 years ago. I don't really talk to my neighbors. But a cool guy. He actually plays video games. He saw my TV breaking video and we got talking on that. But he wanted to do the podcast, so I said, you know what? I'll give you a shot. We'll see how you do. Let's hope you don't buckle under the pressure. LJ is what I call him. He goes, what is it? Coughlin's Bar, Coughlin's Law? What are you? LJ, are you there? Okay, LJ is...
Did LJ disappear?
LJ's not here. You know LJ, right, Silver?
Yeah, I know LJ. Yeah.
I guess he's missing in action already.
Rev's buddy.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of static through this.
I don't hear any static.
Yeah, you sound fine.
Are you buckling under the pressure? It's okay, man.
I think
just shoot me a text, say you're too nervous, and we'll boot you out of here. You okay, buddy?
No, y'all hear me now?
Yeah, just fine.
We hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Rev's friend, Silver's friend, Vic I played with before.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you give us a little background to the video games you've played? You know what I mean? The kind of gamer you are. No shit. How about it, Baron? Are you there? All right, tell you what. Let's go right into the topics. How's that?
Can you hear me now, man?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I could hear you for sure.
We're here.
All right. I had myself muted like a dummy.
You got a new mic, huh?
Yeah.
There we go.
You need to turn that gain down. But yeah, I hear clear.
You can hear my game? Damn.
You little loud. But yeah, you sound very clear. Very clear.
Very professional. Yes.
Yeah, I was trying to set up this mic because I didn't set it up since I bought it. So I was setting it up, make sure it was ready. What was I about to say? What'd you ask me? I don't even know what's going on.
Your intro.
Yeah, just say hello.
My intro, y'all know what it is. It's the one and only Nintendo God.
Damn, you don't echo either. I like it.
Coming in for that, I'm bringing that Nintendo flavor, Rev's favorite company, bringing it to him.
Oh, yeah. All right, Vic, hit it. What's our first topic, man?
So the topic we're opening up with tonight is the PS5 is rumored to be all about hardcore gamers and AAA titles. How do you guys feel about that?
Oh, you hit it. You hit it. You first.
I mean, obviously for me, that's a good thing. I don't know if from a business perspective, that's the best move for them. I don't think that that's a move that will get them the success that they had this gen, but shit, selfishly, I'm all for it. I want something catered towards enthusiasts, and AAA titles are mostly what I play, so I'm all for it.
What is it you think they need to do?
I mean, when they say it's focused towards hardcore gamers, I'm thinking higher end hardware for consoles. Before the PC dudes jump in the comments talking about it's not really high end, but on the in the console space, I'm thinking higher end hardware that pushes more fidelity, obviously. Um, but that would lead me to believe that it's going to be at minimum a $500 launch console, which you know is not ideal. I think 400 is a good price point when you're trying to launch to like the casual audience. And then when you couple that with like there's rumors about tariffs from China, uh, increasing hardware costs by like 25%. It seems like something that will be a lot more expensive, and I can see it making the same mistake that they made with the PS3 when it launched too high, and not everybody was trying to make that jump for that price.
Now, what if Xbox launches at the same price though? What if they're both $500? Is it a big deal then?
No, I think it evens it, obviously. But I mean, if the PlayStation launches at 500 and the Xbox launches at 400, and there's not a big difference in performance, I think Xbox will come out.
Yeah, you see that happening though.
Yeah, because they're launching these during the holidays. The holidays, most of the people that buy consoles during the holidays are people that are not even going to use them. It's people buying them for other people. So the price point is always like the leading determining factor in that most of the time. And when you're talking about the difference of $100, for some families that's a lot of money. So yeah. I could see that, but I don't think so. Sony is smart. I don't see them making that mistake again. So even though they're saying that that's what it's catered towards, I still think that the Xbox and the PlayStation will launch at the same price point.
Yeah, I do too. How about it, Silver? Silver, you there?
Oh, your people are getting sniped.
Dude, what's going on in this cast tonight?
Yo, did you call me?
Hey man, what are you doing over there, man? You working out?
I can do more push-ups.
No. I got a phone call. My bad.
You getting a buy pump?
I already got that earlier. I'm trying to look like you.
Come on, man. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, right? You know me. I'm Sony till I die, so I'm all for pushing the envelope. Whatever is gonna get people to stop comparing us to Xbox and saying Xbox does this better than us and blah blah blah, this and that. I feel like us catering to hardcore gamers will finally get people to shut their mouths.
Well, now see, when I hear catering to the hardcore, I feel like they're talking about their games. I don't feel like they're talking about their hardware, Vic. That's just me personally. I didn't read the article, but when I read the article or read the headline, that's what I hear, that they're going to keep pushing those big budget AAA story-driven exclusives.
Well, what the article says is that they're suggesting that the PS5 is going to be a niche product aimed at serious players. So when they said that, I was thinking,
did they say that?
Yeah, they did. So
really, that's impressive.
I read a little bit of it. They were talking about the graphics and the framework was going to be a lot better. They're going to be stronger hardware. Something like, I didn't read all of it. I kind of skimmed through it.
I feel more of your PlayStation players are more hardcore than your average gamers.
Yeah, just from the word, just from the usage of the word niche, I figured that maybe that would be a higher price point because that will make it more niche, right? Like the Xbox One X, out of all the consoles that Microsoft launched this gen, the Xbox One X is the niche console, right? It sold the least. So yeah, that's just what I inferred from it. But I mean, you could be right. It could be talking about games, but
LJ, what do you mean by PlayStation gamers are more hardcore than
everybody says that Xbox is a stronger control unit, and I tend to agree. However, if you're stuck with your PlayStation, you've been with it since day one, the exclusives are way much better, and that can't be argued by any means. I feel those that stick with a PlayStation, those are more PlayStation-driven hardcore players for that control panel.
It can't be argued. Why can't it be argued? I feel like it can be argued.
Every Xbox game you name, every Xbox exclusive you name, we could probably come up with a PlayStation exclusive to top it.
Well, we got some Sony drones in here, Vic.
Yes, we do, Silver. That's one thing we got in common, bro.
That's it, LJ.
Baron, where you at on this?
Blaze is not here, so you gotta have my back.
I know, right? I had to step in.
Are the PS4 runs done?
Hey, Baron, don't
Hey, let's talk
start.
about Nintendo.
Are the PS4 runs done so I can talk on this? About them, it's man, look, Sony says some wild stuff, man. I think y'all reading too much into the comments they say. Like, I labeled Sony this like a generation and a half ago. Sony, all they do is lie, cheat, and steal, and lying is their forte. That's what they do.
Where
I mean, it really is.
Like
it's like you really can't take anything they say because they contradict what they say later on. You know what I mean? I mean, it came to now it's all about AAA games and hardcore gamers. Then they talked about the Switch, how we can't ignore the Switch as a competitor last year, I think around October. Then they released a statement that said Switch is not our competitor. It's like they just all over the place. They don't know what they're talking about. I think they just make statements so people can just have some buzz about them, because right now the PS4 is dry as hell. Ain't really got much exclusive to look forward to. And they're just trying to keep their name out there. That's pretty much what it is. That's what that whole console market is niche thing came from. That's what they made this statement came from. Now we got a rumor about Sony is buying 5 studios and all. They just throw this stuff out here to just keep y'all talking, because they just want to put smoke and mirrors in front of you about how dry this system is going to be and how dry it's going to be for the next year and a half while you wait for the PS5. So I don't read much into it. That's what I think about it.
I think
what do you think about that, Silver?
I think he's wrong on that.
Why?
Because right now, okay, you look at Death Stranded is don't say really.
Really?
Don't say really, because when it comes out, it's going to surprise everyone. And I'll tell you right now, will win Game of the Year.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this question, right?
Okay, go ahead.
I just want your honest opinion.
All right.
We seen gameplay footage of Cyberpunk 2077, right?
Yeah.
We seen gameplay footage of every title that's releasing this year. What is the only game we haven't seen gameplay footage
No,
from?
I've seen gameplay footage of Death Stranded.
Where are you seeing it at?
I somehow found it on YouTube, and I seen some of it. It plays almost like Metal Gear Solid.
No, because Kojima went on the Twitter tirade, kept telling people this is not Metal Gear Solid. It's nothing like Metal Gear Solid. It's not a stealth game. You can check his Twitter timeline, and he's actually has to keep opening and telling people it's not a horror game. It's not a stealth game. It's not Metal Gear Solid. So that's the thing. Y'all don't know what y'all getting. Y'all don't know what it is.
But you know what? It's worth a surprise, because has Kojima ever failed us?
What do you mean? He's only been working on Metal Gear Solid.
And has he ever made a bad Metal Gear Solid game?
Well, there's some that's been questionable, but overall, no.
Okay.
But the thing is, this is not Metal Gear Solid. This is what I don't understand.
Right,
I keep telling people,
but just because it's not Metal Gear Solid doesn't mean it's not going to be a good game.
I didn't say it was going to be a good game, but you try to put something on Game of the Year caliber before we even see what the gameplay does when we put the controller in our hand is ridiculous.
What was that game you were talking about last cast?
Astral Chain. That's the game.
You really feel like Astral Chain is going to be?
I feel like Astral Chain has a way bigger shot than Death Stranding.
Oh my god!
Hey, what's that lame ass shit I hear in the background, Baron? Don't tell me you're collecting coins playing Mario.
Oh no, that's my notification. That's my notification.
Oh man, you really play the role, man. I ain't buying it.
No, hold on. Let me say something real quick.
I thought he was playing Mario Maker.
No, let me say something real quick. My notification, it used to be the Power Rangers, thing, the little hand. You know how what do they call it? Command center thing. I used to have that, and then I turned it to Sonic. Then I changed it to Mario. So I change it all the time. But that's not the point. But the point is, like, I don't like people using Metal Gear Solid as a crutch tool that's going to make Death Stranding great. Just because it comes from Kojima, that doesn't mean that's going to make Death Stranding great. These are two completely different games. And Kojima's going out his way to tell y'all this is not Metal Gear Solid. He literally does this almost on a weekly basis.
Okay, but what I'm saying is Kojima is a great storyteller. And from what we've seen so far, I mean, we don't really know what everything. I've seen some. I forget where I found this trailer on YouTube, and if I can figure out I'll let you know what it was. But it kind of gave me some idea what the storyline was going to be like, and it was very interesting. It's something about the world, or the America being destroyed and them trying to.
Yeah, I get the concept of where you're going, like you saving humanity and everything is turning, this black ink is the other side and all that. I'm talking about gameplay. I've never seen a game that has a solid release date like this. And we're about 4 or 5 months away now, and we still have not seen what are we doing when the controller is in our hand. I've never seen that before, ever. And I don't want to doubt Kojima, but the thing is, I could give you a comparison. Like, the creator of The Legend of Zelda also, created Star Fox. Is Star Fox on the same level as Legend of Zelda? No. So I can't sit up here and say, oh, it's from Miyamoto, so it's going to be Zelda Breath of the Wild type. No, I need to see what it is. So that's why I don't like when people use Metal Gear Solid as a crutch for Death Stranding. I mean, every time we seen Metal Gear Solid before it came out, we actually seen what we was doing in the game. That's what made you hype. People are just hype because they're using this damn engine and the graphics look pretty. But when you seen that man getting chased around by people in hazmat suits with tasers on the tip of a pole, I'm sorry, that wasn't doing it for me.
It's not. It wasn't enough gameplay. I get what you're saying.
I don't know if it's his new mic, but Baron's making a lot more sense this week.
I'm just being honest about it.
No, but
like,
I see exactly what you're
saying. Be objective
though.
about it, but all this game of the year, I'm like, yo, you need to pump your brakes. This ain't Metal Gear Solid.
Because
let's try to make a good game first.
Yeah, I get people being excited because it's Kojima making it off the strength of his catalog, even though it's only really one series. He has made very strong titles. So I see the reasoning behind people being excited for his next project. But what I don't agree with is from what we've seen, nothing that I've seen makes me think it will be game of the year. Because we really don't know what you do when you're playing this. So I agree with you there. But yeah, I don't hold it against.
You see the Kojima fans, man. You see how crazy they are.
Yeah, and off the strength of that alone, I can see it being nominated as Game of the Year, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's good or bad, just off the strength of his fans, I feel like it'll be nominated.
What say you, LJ?
It was the most confusing trailer of a game I've ever seen. I had no clue what we're supposed to be doing in that game. And the fact that I agree with Baron, there's no gameplay, man, you don't even know what you're getting into. It looked like a bizarre-ass movie.
There was some gameplay, but what I saw didn't look great. It was him with the big-ass ladder, and then it was him with like some very
Donkey
clunky
Kong climbing up a ladder.
Yeah, some very clunky melee combat. And then briefly they show for maybe a few frames him using a gun, which looked similar to Metal Gear, but the melee combat and him driving that motorcycle, that looked clunky, man. I'll be honest.
Hey, that motorcycle looked terrible.
Hey, little man, come here for a second. Hey, Baron, I got a treat for you, man. Hey, little man, come here.
Oh Lord,
I'm gonna do a little plug here. Let me get my little guy here. Hey, come here, buddy boy. I want you to talk into this mic. We got a real Nintendo fan here. I want you to tell us how you're enjoying Mario Maker 2.
It's really good.
Tell us about it. Give us a brief synopsis about it.
Mario Maker 1, I spent a lot of time playing, but Nintendo did seem to update the game, but they didn't bring what I wanted into the game. But the second one, everything that I originally wanted, pretty much everything, was brought back into the game. And it really made me happy, and I can't stop playing it.
Yeah, it's all you've been playing since it came out.
Yeah, I haven't been playing my Xbox lately because of it.
Yeah, your Xbox went to the wayside.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I figured you'd like that, Baron. You know, you and the little 12-year-old guy.
Well, I mean,
that's what I was gonna say.
Look. For anybody that's worth, I didn't buy or play the first Mario Maker because I really wasn't interested. It wasn't until Nintendo did the whole breakdown of Mario Maker 2 with the whole online settings and online features they had. That's what got me into it. So it is pretty good. I mean, if you're not into creating levels, you're probably not going to enjoy it as much as Rev's son or me, but it's pretty good concept. It's not nothing mind-blowing, but it's just pretty solid, well put together.
What's the next topic, Vic?
Let me take a look. Oh, we can talk about this. Is a little bit older now, but we're bi-weekly. Phil Spencer was talking about moving forward. They want to basically more strictly enforce the language used on Xbox Live.
Did we not talk about that in the last podcast? I feel like we did.
No, we didn't.
We didn't
talk about that. Okay,
no, we didn't, because it happened right after our podcast.
Continue.
But yeah, essentially, they want to be more strict. They're trying to create a less toxic and hateful online environment.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts?
I'm kind of torn on it because on one hand, it's their service and they're free to do what they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have freedom of speech, which is a thing, but you don't have freedom of consequence. You just can't be an asshole online all the time and have no repercussions. So yeah, we've all played online. We know how it gets on there. But on one hand, my concern on them cracking down harder is, because it's happened to me before, is when people false flag you for things you didn't do and you get suspended. Like I got suspended for 5 days for something I never said, and then they reviewed it and then unbanned me. So if they're going to be more strict, my only fear would be people misusing that, just like you see people misusing stuff like that on Twitter to get people banned that they don't like. And then you're stuck. You can't play games because someone didn't like you and false flagged you.
What say you, Silver?
I think that's kind of dumb that they're cracking down like that.
Okay, what about the little kids that say racist shit online?
Yeah, but you see, that's the problem. I've never had that issue playing online on PlayStation. It's my brother, for a fact, plays Xbox, and all he hears is racist comments, little kids calling him out on his name and saying whatever.
So that don't happen on PlayStation, only on Xbox.
Honestly, I've never had that happen to me.
There ain't no racist little kids on PlayStation?
There might be, but they keep their mouth shut.
Yeah, there are. You know what's crazy? There are, because I've been called the N-word a lot. No.
Yeah, I haven't had that happen to me.
Okay, so let's say it happened to you consistently on the PlayStation Network, and then they said, look, we're going to start censoring just harsh language in general. Well, what do you think about that? You think that's their right? Do you think they should do it? Do you think it's bad because it's censoring?
Like Vic said, it just depends, because someone can false flag you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Forget about the false flagging. What do you think about that?
Yeah, if it's happening to you constantly, if someone was calling me out of my name and calling me the N-word all the time, I'd want them to be flagged. So yeah, I guess I'll agree with that they should do it, but at the same time, I guess it just depends on the situation, because you have some gamers who do get false flagged, or they don't have that happening to them, so they may not want to have like harsh language being, how I want to say this, they don't want to be censored, you know what I mean, because you're gonna let curse words out once in a while.
What say you, LJ?
They should have two different channels, one for a censored, one for an uncensored. And like he says, you're going to be in the heat of the gameplay and you're going to say some stuff, and you might not even be saying at them. You just might be cussing at the game in general. Or on the other hand, you might be swearing at them. But like I said, have an option for that channel. You don't want to hear that, you go to the non-adult channel. Then you go to the explicit channel if you do want to hear all that. Or it doesn't bother you.
I feel like Xbox used to do something like that where you could pick it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know, because I wouldn't bother with an Xbox.
Yeah, there used to be like parental settings where you can pick who your kids can like communicate with, like people just from their friends list or friends of friends or no one kind of thing.
And agreed, your kids should be put at a certain level where they're not allowed access to that until they're of whatever certain age, 18.
Yeah, but how many parents really go behind their kids and put parental settings on their consoles?
But isn't that the parents' job to do, though?
Exactly.
Microsoft have to step up and be our parents.
Yeah.
If you're a grown adult, you're telling me a little bit of name calling is causing you to become emotionally unstable. You know what I mean? Baron, where are you at on all this?
I think he's muted again.
Well, yeah,
he stays muted himself.
I was muting, but
he's playing Mario Maker.
He's playing.
Nah, I was actually playing Mortal Kombat, but
Okay.
but I think this is just too much. I think the over censoring that Sony and Microsoft is doing is kind of crazy.
Sony in there.
Oh, yes, I am, because Sony is censoring games and Nintendo is not. So
yes,
I
they're
think
censoring Silver.
yeah, this over censoring is kind of ridiculous. To me, I might sound crazy to some people on the panel in the chat right now, but I enjoyed that experience when I log into Call of Duty and then the N-word gets thrown all around the place. It's hilarious to me. I find enjoyment in that. I don't take it seriously because it's a video game. You know, people are just going to say whatever they want to say. I think it's just part of the experience. I mean, when you start censoring that, I think that's a little bit too much.
Yeah,
Because then nobody ain't gonna want to communicate anymore. Because it's like you don't want to log in and play online and have to talk like you in church. I don't think nobody wants to do that. So,
no,
especially a co-op shooter game. Hell no.
Yeah, fuck that.
yeah, not. I didn't really enjoy the N-word part so much, but the talking shit.
Like co-op Zelda, nobody's gonna swear. But
Talking smack back and forth was like the funnest part of gaming in the early days, right?
Absolutely.
And it made it so much more fun and so much more competitive. And I just feel like it's going backwards, right? Like there is a personal responsibility for the parents to step in and set those parental controls, or there's always options to report people that exist already, or there's a mute button in every game. If you don't like what you hear, you can easily mute somebody. You know what I mean?
Mute, there's party chat. There's too many different options
Yeah.
for you to sit back and be verbally abused when you don't want to be.
Because I don't want to sit there and pretend like, because we've seen the bad things that go on, like people that really get picked on and shit on online, and that does exist. But I feel like opening this up is like a big can of worms. And my fear is the false flagging thing, because we see it on every social media. If somebody doesn't like you, then all of a sudden you can't play games for a weekend. Like, and people will do stuff like that just to mess with you. And I think that's a slippery slope, man. That's too much.
And you're right about that. And I think we're people outside of gaming, and now people inside the gaming community, meaning the gamers, you know, the editors and stuff like that, they're losing the sight of focus of what, you know, most people, I'll say at least in America, maybe in Europe, use gaming for, is an outlet. They use gaming as an outlet to escape their real life, and they just want to go out there and have fun, act a damn fool, whatever. So now you're trying to take that experience away from them. It's like, I don't think they're going to enjoy it as much. So I think that's just a little bit too much, man. Just let people, I don't care what you blurt. I think it's hilarious. I'm not sensitive like that. So it's blurt anything you want. I just think it's funny. That's just my personal preference. I laugh it off.
I agree with you 110%, Baron. Any kind of censorship is bad unless it deals, I said this on Twitter, with the sexual exploitation of children. Outside of that, you shouldn't censor nothing. People talking about it's good they're censoring these cartoons. Bullshit. You don't censor anything, because then you open up the door for more censorship, and people damage control it, and that's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. The guys were saying on Twitter, even Blackbone was saying, yeah, these little racist ass white kids are going to have to pay consequences now. It's like, okay, look here. When was the last time some little spineless white kid came up to you and called you an N-word? Baron Silver, has this ever happened to you in your life?
No, that's,
you know what I mean? That's just what they are. Spineless little white kids, you know, screw them.
In a way, in a concept, I look at it is, it's like when it comes to these online lobbies, I feel like it's almost like when you're like a kid and you're on punishment and you're kept inside of the house and you finally let out of the cage and you just go wild. You know what I mean? I think that's what people do when they get on these online lobbies.
Oh, yeah.
They just go wild, man.
Yeah, I mean, the internet creates that, right? That anonymity to say whatever the hell you've been wanting to say, right?
Yeah. So,
but yeah,
I don't like it for the fact that I think people need this as a form of, you know, letting stuff out, because it's a stress reliever. Game is a stress reliever for a lot of people. It's their outlet. It's the way they get all this shit out of from the real world. I don't think we need to start censoring that. We need to remain entertainment needs to remain entertainment.
Yeah.
Stop trying to put politics into everything. It's just so annoying. It's
and to piggyback off that, I just saw an article on Twitter about how censorship is going real far, and it's difficult because everybody's offended by something. And the article I just saw was Netflix is agreeing to censor tobacco usage in their shows because a tobacco group, activist group, was saying that there was too much tobacco use in the show Stranger Things.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm dead serious. This is a real article. I just saw it before we started the podcast, and it's like, but if you're trying to develop a character and a part of that character is his use of tobacco, like if we keep going down this road, everything is going to be censored.
There it is.
Yeah,
There it is.
Right? It's like it's the tobacco use of a fictional character. It's not promoting tobacco use. It's just a guy who uses tobacco, and he's one character in a show full of characters. But if we keep taking this approach and everybody keeps, bending the knee and saying, yeah, all right, we'll censor this, and we won't use this so much, what are we gonna have left? Yep. And gaming is one place where I really don't want to see it.
And look at stand-up comedy, Vic. Look at what stand-up comedy is becoming. You can't say nothing.
You can't say jokes, man.
You can't say nothing no more.
It's crazy because you see the quality of stand-up comedy just going lower and lower and lower. Aside from the people that do not cave in, like Dave Chappelle. Yeah. Dave Chappelle has never censored none of his comedy. He might have tweaked it, but his subject matter is.
I don't know. I saw him going a little soft on the LGBTQ community. I feel like he was doing a little bit of catering to them.
Do you want to get backlash from that community right there?
Oh man, you don't want it with the G Mafia.
You don't want that. That's too. Hey, listen, that's too much.
But this is the thing. I mean, this has nothing to do with gaming, but censorship is important, and I see it leaking into gaming, so it's important to talk about. Every group that feels slighted fights for what? Equality, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not making fun of you in jokes, you are not equal, right? Everybody can get it. That's what comedy was all about, right? Gay, straight, black, white, Asian, Latino, rich, poor. Everybody can get it. That was the beauty of comedy. So when you're saying that you want to be excluded from that, that's not equality. That's superiority or it's exclusion, but it's not equality. So I don't understand why you want to be left out of jokes or media or video games or stuff like that.
I'm glad you said that because I view it the same way. I try not to comment on this at all. I try to stay away from it.
Same, but it's hard because we live in a time now where if you say this, people will label you something that you're not.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I think because I think somebody got upset about something Chris Rock said about Jesse Smollett, the guy from Empire, a while ago. And he made it was such a tame joke, and everybody lost their minds. And I'm like,
bro, was it about like, you know what I do with that light skin?
Yeah,
he said he was a waste of light skin.
Light skin. I thought it was funny.
And the funny thing is, anybody that grew up in the black community knows that joke is funny because it applies. You know what I mean? It applies. But the amount of people that was outraged, it blew my mind. I was like, Chris Rock has said way more disgusting stuff than that years ago. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like,
too sensitive right now. That's the problem.
Yeah, years ago it was just considered comedy, and now it's considered hate speech, which is crazy, right? All these things fall under the category of art, right? There's supposed to be no limits on this, but now everybody's offensive. Everybody's offended by everything, and now we have the culture, that cancel culture, where if you say the wrong thing, or they'll take a sentence that you've said out of context and just try to get your whole life messed up, just because they're looking for something to be offended by. And I don't want to see that leak into games because you see it leak into everything now.
It's already leaking into games. Ubisoft issued an apology, and they took out a picture out of the Division 2 because it had something that offended the LGBTQ community. I don't even know what it was. It was like the word on a badge or something.
Rev, I'm glad you brought that up because now I'm going to go ahead and big my company up. Nintendo had a similar situation where somebody built a stage builder in Smash Brothers and put the transgender flag in it. Nintendo took it down. They came at Nintendo, and Nintendo said, we're not going to have anything that's too political in our games. And they didn't back down from it.
But that's good.
It's funny. It's funny how the company people like the badge is the one standing up for all the censorship and stuff, and the other companies are just bending the knee. It's just funny to see that. So
It's just crazy to see everybody bending the knee.
Yeah.
In every form of art and media, everybody's like, "Oh, you don't like it? Okay, I'm sorry. We'll find something else." Oh, you want more inclusion, or you want more diversity of characters, or you want women and men in areas they've never really been in. It's fine. But it's like, man, I feel like if you cater to everything, all it does is water down your art. It's weird to me, man.
I think everyone's just tired of fighting. You know what I mean? Just the bickering back and forth.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were
I
being
feel like
honest,
that's what they love to do.
if we're being honest, it's not about the fighting; it's about the money, right? No one wants that negative PR.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that storm coming from any community, especially like LGBT community. Nobody wants that bad PR, bro. That's why they're saying, whatever you want, you got it.
Hey, Baron, about the rainbow flag, what happened there? You said that somebody put it in a Mario Maker level?
no, they put it. Smash Brothers has a stage creator. Somebody created a stage and put a big transgender flag in it, and Nintendo took the stage down. They took it down off the online service, and some people in the transgender community got wind of it, and they tried to create this whole drama. And Nintendo released a statement said they basically said anything that's too political, we're going to take it out of the game.
But isn't that censorship?
Is that backing down?
No, it's all
I feel like
about.
why can't they have their flag in there? If it's their level and their create, why can't you put what you
Ooh,
want?
there you go, right?
That's a good point, but the fact that what Nintendo was trying to say is that they want the game to be about the game. They don't want it to be about gay rights or transgender rights or black power or white supremacists or Nazis. They want it to be about the game. So anything that has any political affiliation, they're going to take it out of there.
They don't want any
That's censorship, Baron. Look, if I'm part of the LGBTQ community and I'm making a level and I want to put my flag in there, I should be able to put my flag in there. You created a level creator for me. I should be able to put whatever the hell I want to put in that level.
But the thing, like he's saying, is that the company is trying to stick to making the game about the game. And if I tell you can plant your flag in that level, then I can't tell the next group that they can't. Right?
So let everybody plant the shit they want to plant.
You really think
that's
going to work in today's world?
There's
so
no way.
You want people to plant Nazi flags and on a Nintendo game and think it's going to fly?
If that's what they want to do,
nah, that would create more problems than Nintendo is trying to not
at the end of the day, dude. It's censorship, no matter how you want to slice it. And censorship is very dangerous. Just like Vic's saying, that is why in 2019, everything is turning so freaking lame. Everything. I made a video a long time ago. Do you remember when that lady wouldn't make the cake for the gay guy because it was against her beliefs? It was her own business. And they wanted a wedding cake for a gay couple. And she said she didn't want to do that. Instead of just going somewhere else, they like blacklisted this lady. They blew her up on social media and this and that. You know what I mean? And just made her out to be the bad guy. And it's like, if she doesn't want to do it, why should she have to do it? I don't understand. Go somewhere else. If somebody tells me, hey, you can't eat here, you're a white guy. Okay. You're too tall. All right. I'll never come back there again. Let them crucify themselves. But why can't they be who they want to be? Hey, do you get what I'm telling you?
I hear you.
Let people do what they want to do, like the Christian couple that went to the gay place, and then boom, the gay guy starts cursing them out and everything, and then they put it up on. So it's like, leave. They don't want you there. Leave. How hard is this? Don't force your opinions on somebody else. If they don't want you there, fucking leave. How hard is it?
Yeah, that brings up a situation I seen on Twitter, I think a few days ago. It was this what's that guy name that has that show on YouTube? He did a show recently with late Etika. What's that guy name? So I think it's called Drama Alert. He put up this video.
Oh, you're talking about Keemstar?
Yeah, Keemstar. He put up this video and he had a caption saying something along the lines of, these boys kicked out these transgender women because they wasn't girls. And he said, yikes. And I'm sitting up here like,
he's stoking the flame.
If they don't want to be with transgender girls, they can do that.
Exactly.
You can't force that upon nobody.
That's the thing that makes no sense, because when people preach acceptance, it's always a one-way street, right? Like, you need to accept me for who I am. That's fine. I'll be honest. If that's how you identify, I'll respect it. I'll respect your pronouns. I'll call you whatever you want. But you can't expect me to treat you the same I would, a biological female. And that's my preference, right? If I'm respecting your preference, you have to respect mine. That's how the world works, but not in the world we live in now. It's like, you need to respect my preference. You need to be open to spending time with me. It's like, no, I don't. That's not how the world works.
All these things these feminists get outraged about, like, nobody's outraged about these men that are competing in the female weightlifting competitions or the track competitions.
Yeah,
it's like, what in the, you're facing dudes. I don't care if you identify as that is not fair to the female.
Hey, Rev, hey, now you got to watch it. Now you got to.
Dude, I'm trying to look. If you identify as a woman, cool. Be who you want to be, but do not try to put yourself against females and say you're the same. You're made up of the same genetic materials. You're not. It's not fair to them.
And I'm glad you said that, because I brought this up to somebody on Twitter that was talking about it. I was like, it's cool. That's what you want to be. I'm an advocate for you do whatever you want to do. You be whoever you want to be. But at the same token, you have to understand that you cannot force what your stuff is on other people. Y'all competing in these sports with these other females who are biologically born as females. Y'all automatically have an advantage. How does that help the actual biological females who get into these sports? Y'all finna take all their scholarships away. Y'all gonna run them off the field.
And you know what's crazy is the people that are most outspoken about this are the biological females, as they should be, right? Because I'll take it a step further. We're not talking about track and field anymore or wrestling. We're talking about MMA, right?
Oh,
and
God.
And Ronda Rousey got crucified for this when she said that she wouldn't fight this person. I don't remember her name, because it wasn't fair. And people who had fought her in the past said it's a different kind of strength. It was like fighting a man, which makes sense because biologically they have the same bone structure and muscle density and everything like that as a man did, because they were born as a man. We got to the point in the world where it's not okay for a biological woman to say, I don't feel comfortable fighting that person because they hit like a man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, man, like, dude, like, I get it. Trust me, I don't have anything against anybody in the whole world. Do what you want to do what makes you happy. That's what life's all about. But you can't force me to just, relieve myself of all my preferences to appease yours. I can respect.
That's what everybody wants you to do.
Exactly. But I can respect your preferences, but you have to respect mine.
There you go. They want you to be tolerant of theirs, but they are not tolerant of yours. Yeah. And that's such a hypocritical bullshit, dude.
Bro, who thought we were going to go this deep on a gaming podcast?
But look, if you make a game, if I'm a developer and I make a game and I want to put gay flags in my game, cool. I should be able to have them in there. If I have something in there that offends gay people, too bad. Tough luck. If it offends you, don't play the game. How hard is this? I'm offended by shit in games all the time. Oh, well, that's my problem. It's not my game. So I ain't got no right to say shit about anything. Right. Just don't play it. Oh, I demand you change this and change that. Who are you? Haul ass and go play something else. Ain't nobody making you play nothing over here. Battlefield 5. I didn't make videos crucifying that game. Don't like it, don't buy it. Okay, fine. I won't. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna burn some flags and demand that they do this and do that and market it like this. I'll just take my ball and go play somewhere else. Easy. But nobody else wants to do that.
Hey, we haven't heard from your neighbor. Is he still alive?
Yeah, I'm still here. I was trying to get here or there.
What are your thoughts?
He was like, I'm trying not to get fired. I'm just going to sit this one
out. Being a sports fan, we're talking about the transgenders. I'm afraid in 5 to 10 years, man, we'll have transgenders playing NFL, NBA.
No way. That won't get trounced.
Are we not getting pushed that far? Is it not getting that bad?
Stuff like that is coming.
Honestly, I don't care if if she
Oh,
could
I
stay
would
right,
care. I would have to ban it at that point.
The only thing I see is that they can probably start
Their own
getting
league.
recruited. No, they getting recruited into the WNBA, which would be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
And that'd be
that
awful
would be
too. That'd be
unfair.
weird as hell.
Definitely be unfair.
All right, let's change it up. That's a good topic there, fellas. Where we at next, Vic? Oh, let's talk about the bathwater, man. Check this out.
you got to fill me in.
Yeah,
I'm
you
lost.
gotta-
Yeah.
So there's this gamer girl from the
This is the
picture I
weirdest
seen on
podcast
Twitter.
for
She
you
looks
for the first
she looks
time.
kind of cute, I guess. Looks young.
she's like 12.
Yeah, she looks real young, and she's marketing herself that way.
No, honestly, I don't think she's that young, but she is marketing herself.
She's
to look
marketing herself
younger.
that way.
Yeah, because she
And
knows
then-
weirdos
Oh my
like that.
God.
This girl is bottling up her bathwater, so she says, and selling it to dudes for $30 a pop. And get this, it's sold out. Now, I can just imagine the dudes getting this, unboxing it. What are they doing? Are they putting a belt around their neck, hanging themselves up, and just drinking it as they're jerking off? Dude, what is wrong with these people, man?
Hey, on
It's
one
sold out.
I don't know what they be doing. Wait, how old is this girl for real? How old is
I
she?
don't know, dude.
She's marketing
she-
low. though.
she's in her like I think early to mid 20s.
Dude, they're
but she-
drinking it. They got to be drinking it.
They drinking it or they using it as some type of lubrication, man.
Yeah.
They are, man,
Listen.
and it's crazy.
But the
But
thing
just
is,
bottle up your toenails next, or your heel dust.
because on one
dry
on one-
heel skin.
Doesn't
on
this
one
have to
hand,
go through the Food and Drug Administration or something?
No,
Nope.
because she sells it saying it's not. Do not consume this. It's just for
Well, yeah, they can consume rubbing alcohol too, but
yeah.
still
but-
got to go through
But
administration.
yeah,
but-
she's selling this, and on one when I first saw it, my first reaction was like, "This is disgusting," right? Like, why would you do? But then on the other hand, I'm like, I can't hate on someone's hustle like
You
that.
can't.
Like,
You
there
can't. It's
are
smart.
really
She's slick.
weirdos out there who are gonna buy it. Like, if girls wanted to buy my bathwater, bro, I would quit my job and just take
There you
baths
go.
all day. You know what I
Let
mean?
them buy it. Let them buy it by all means. I
That's what
got
I'm
no
saying.
hate
Like,
on it.
you can't, I can't hate on it because there are people, some very sad individuals in very large quantities that will buy stuff like this. So, I mean, more power to her. She's getting paid off
Hey,
of
Silver.
water she probably got out the sink.
Silver, now just imagine you're in the gym working out. You know that little cry towel you keep with you because the weight's too heavy when you're working out with
Right,
it?
right.
You take that cry towel, you wipe your sweat, you drain it all into a bottle, and people buy this shit from you. Can you even comprehend this?
Hey, listen, if I could sell it, I would.
I know you
on
would.
my keyboard.
Hey, listen, if I could take all that sweat and bottle it up and say, hey, if you drink this, it'll make you big like me and make some profit out of it. Hey, trust me, best believe I would.
I know it, man. I know it. Where
the,
you
the
at?
girl,
Where
the
you
girl,
at, man?
the girl's 19.
She's 19.
19,
Yep.
she's young. But it's like, where do you even come up with an idea like that? To
Smart.
just, hey, let me just.
You have to know how pathetic your audience is.
Probably from Japan. They got weird shit like that everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's just.
What are your
She's-
thoughts, Baron?
I just think it's nasty.
It's disgusting.
I mean, people have weird fetishes, man. So what can you say, man? There's nothing you can really say.
Where you at, LJ?
I think that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard.
You telling me you didn't buy a bottle?
I
Well, I
think
got,
You
I
telling me
got
you
a
didn't buy
sample
two
one for a
bottles?
Christmas gift for you.
He's like, that's disgusting. He's all putting them in the drawer.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's crazy. She's smart. There ain't no getting
Super
around it,
smart.
man.
Super
Mhm.
smart, man.
She might not have to ever work again. Just keep selling her bath water. And you know what? Why even fill it with bath water? Just fire up the damn tap water. You know what I mean?
Fire up the garden hose and make
There you go.
3 Gs.
I mean, honestly, all she really has to do is throw some bottled water and throw a little soap in there, and they wouldn't know the difference.
That's it. That and these dudes be drinking it up.
Yeah.
Literally.
Start of a new trend. A start of a new fad. What's next, though? So you're gonna be pissing in the toilet and bottling that up. You know what I mean? Where's this gonna lead? This is a getting stage.
When's the unboxing vid, Rev? He says.
Oh man.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's it. Where
Get
do
your
you
golden
lead?
showers, $30.
That's what I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, people would pay it too.
They
That's-
would. And then
that's
what's next
crazy.
after that? I don't even want to think about it.
Let me shit in a can and send that out.
Oh,
Don't mind the flies. All right, what's the next topic?
let's see.
Where we at?
We got a few.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about Sony. Did we talk about Sony being interested in buying Remedy games?
Remedy, the most mediocre game developer in
No, we didn't talk about it.
Why
I
is this a
mentioned
big
it.
deal?
We didn't talk about it yet.
Oh, and it was like the big news of the week. I
Yeah,
mean,
how is it new?
everything,
What have they done?
well,
What have
because
they made?
everything after E3 is usually pretty slow, and there was so many articles about this. Oh, weren't they the original dev on Max Payne?
Yeah.
Max Payne 1 and 2, but look, I
Yeah.
played those games late, and I'm trying to tell you they didn't age
Yeah.
well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you played them late, they were
Yeah,
trash.
They
But
made
if you
good,
but if
they
you-
made good.
When
But
they
if you-
came out, they were great.
yeah, when they came out, they were super dope.
How do you know, Silver? You didn't play them.
I did play them
When did you play them?
back when they came out. I
Where'd
don't
you play them
remember
on?
what year it was.
So just
You're lying.
That's not lying.
I second
my
that.
bro, he played it right after he was done at the gym, bro. Leave him alone.
That's it. Let me live. Let me live, Rev.
So background on Remedy, they made Max Payne, they made Alan Wake, they made Quantum Break, and then they're releasing Control. For people who aren't familiar, and Sony is putting in a bid to acquire that studio to make games specifically for the PlayStation.
I think
I never played any of those games.
yeah, I think it's not even worthy talking about. The rumor came from Sony trying to buy Remedy to Sony's trying to buy 5 particular studios. That's what the rumor turned into.
Mhm.
It's just because it's so dry on PlayStation right now. They don't have nothing to
Oh,
talk about.
God.
Yeah, you know
They're
how
just coming up with shit. Like we are hyping up Remedy as an acquisition. Like, come on.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
Post E3, you see a lot of these weird ass articles popping up because there's really nothing going on. But I mean, honestly,
Quantum Break.
Remedy is decent, but they didn't even make the best Max Payne game. So
No,
I mean,
Quantum Break is the definition of mediocrity, dude. You know, people talk about walking sims and story-based games. That's like the worst offender, that game.
Wasn't that an Xbox exclusive?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Well, it's a Microsoft exclusive. It's
Yeah.
on the PC.
and I can't really speak on Alan Wake, but I've heard mixed reviews. Some people say it was amazing. Some people say it was
I
a
didn't even
waste of time.
Yeah.
Control looked pretty interesting, and I saw gameplay, and I was like,
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Psyops. Do you remember that game on PS2?
Yeah.
The
I never
Mindgate
played.
Conspiracy? That was a good game, man. I played that and beat it.
Control looks like it's either going to be hit or miss.
Yeah.
The gameplay looks clunky to me.
Yeah.
You know what
But
I mean? It looks like
honestly-
PS2 clunky.
But honestly, I wouldn't hold it against Sony if they purchased them, because some people, like the last, like Killzone Shadowfall, right? Very mediocre game. But following that, they launched Horizon, which, scored pretty high. So,
Control looks pretty good to me.
Yeah.
The camera work is a little bit clunky. I don't think it's an actual game.
yeah.
I think the enemy AI needs to be boosted up a lot.
yeah.
I think that's the main thing from it. But
And
yeah.
it's hard to say because a lot of the gameplay is taken out of context, right? Like you don't know what the enemy types are. You don't know why they're doing specific things. But I mean, honestly, it's not a bad get. It's better than what Xbox announced at their E3 conference, the Psychonauts developer. You know what I mean? So, I mean,
is it better or is it a wash? Because that's a wash to me.
nah, I'd definitely
To me,
rather
that's a
have.
wash.
I'd rather have Remedy. But I mean, it
Psychonauts?
depends because Microsoft. I don't know if I'm sure other people have noticed, but Microsoft has been acquiring developers with a very specific art style, right? To push 4K 60 on very cartoonish looking graphics.
Pac-Man.
And even like they picked up Ninja Theory, right? And you see their new game that they're developing, and that's more towards something you would expect on Xbox versus something you would expect on PlayStation. So, I mean, maybe that Psychonauts developer fits what they're trying to build for Game Pass titles, but if it was me, I would rather have Remedy.
Yeah.
Hey, let me
I
put
know
a
one
plug in
thing.
right quick. For my friend Pedro, I bought that game.
I told you that game was
Mhm.
gonna be dope.
PC, let me tell you, man, I don't do 2D side scrollers, but that game was fun, man. It was very, very fun. It was very well done, and I beat it. It took
I
me
al-
5 hours, and I've been playing through it again. Excellent game. All gameplay, just like Baron likes. Very light on story, very, very light on story, but the gameplay is top notch. It's a very, very slick game, and if you haven't gotten it, I would suggest that you buy it. Baron, you can get it on Switch. If you guys got it on PC, you don't need strong hardware to run it. It is an excellent, excellent game. Very impressed with that.
I almost
You know,
bought a Switch.
That's
to play that.
interesting. You
Why is
enjoyed that, Rev?
I did. I loved it.
You
I loved
enjoyed that. So you know I'm about to really heat up the campaign for you
Oh,
to buy
God.
Astral Chain.
Heat it
now.
up.
You know that, right?
Ah,
If you can
you
play
can't even
my friend
compare the two.
Pedro, if you can play Astral Chain,
You can't compare the two. Astral Chain looks silly to me, man.
I'm not gonna lie, Astral Chain actually looks pretty interesting.
Oh, Silver.
Astral
That-
Chain has a way more
that's one-
darker
that-
demon tone than my
It's
friend
not it's
Pedro.
not game of the year quality, but it actually looks pretty interesting. I'll give you that, Baron.
You know what I did when I seen Rev tweet about that? I laughed my ass off. I was like, Rev, I know you're not playing that game. I know Rev is
I'm
not.
telling you, man. It's good. You know what it is? It's 2D Max Payne 3 meets the Matrix. That's what it is. And that shit is awesome, dude. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm very happy you expanded your horizons. I'm happy about that.
I did. You know what else I just started playing?
Tomb Raider.
Inside. And I started playing Ruiner.
Oh yeah, I sent you that.
Yeah, Ruiner. Yeah, so it's
I
like,
thought if you
what
like,
the top-down shooters are good, or 2D shooters.
I heard Runer's real good. I heard the soundtrack on that's dope.
Well, there ain't shit else to play, so I may as well play these damn 2D games. You know what I mean?
If I can plug a game, since we're doing plugs,
Go ahead.
August 20th, a third-person shooter named Remnant from the Ashes. It was one of my standout games at E3. No one else talked about it, really.
You still plugging that PC game?
Well, it's on everything except for probably the Switch, but you could probably
It's
play
on
it
everything.
Yeah, it's on everything.
They only showcased that on PC. That's interesting.
They showed it on the PC conference, but it's on everything except for I think the Switch. But it's basically a Soulsborne game with guns. So it's a third-person shooter, but it's a boss battle game. From what I read, there's 25 like bosses, and then there's on top of that there's 11 world bosses, which are like the really difficult bosses. But I thought it was a cool spin on things. Like if you like Soulsborne games and third-person shooters, it's basically a mashup of that, and that drops August 20th on everything except for the Switch.
Yeah, I seen some gameplay. I don't know. It doesn't look like my type of game. I'll try it though. You know.
Yeah, I won a $30 bet with Arsenal, so half of that game's paid for already.
There you go. There you go. LJ.
Yep.
Let's talk about that topic we was talking about earlier. We got Baron here. We got Silver here. Both alpha dudes, without a doubt. We've talked about this in the past throughout the years. Silver, I mean, take a look at Silver, big guy. Kind of looks
the macho type,
little feminine, but he's a big dude.
Oh God.
And the first post he makes on Twitter is that he's hyped for Crash Bandicoot. Now, me looking at this, I mean, look, play what you want to play. Cool. I look at this type of game and I imagine my little 13-year-old daughter playing this game.
I thought his 10-year-old got a hold of his phone and posted something.
That's what I'm saying. But then you got guys like Silver, you got guys like Baron, where they love these types of games. So the question is, and this is where you're gonna fill in here, LJ, is playing games just in general. It doesn't matter what kind of game you're playing. We're all gamers. It doesn't matter. Every game is for everybody. Do you agree with that statement, or you feel there's games that are more focused on getting children to play it as opposed to adults? Or do you feel like adults can play pretty much anything they want? If I even said that right.
Adults can play whatever they want, but yeah, there is a difference between the children type game and the adult type game. You got the theme, the tone, the story of the game. And no offense, you can be an adult, 40 years old, playing Mario Brothers or something like that. It's still a fun game. Smoking weed, drinking beer, whatever you're doing. keep you doing that. Or you could play something a little more manly. No offense, Baron. No offense yet. But you play something more.
Don't be afraid to offend him. He ain't
Oh, no! I'm
God.
gonna let
But no, you
finish
play
it.
a
I'm
more
gonna come at you when you're
interactive
done.
game like The Witcher or something where it's got some violence, or even Division where you're shooting the shit out of everybody, or any other shooting games like that. It's the racing games, the Crash Bandicoot racing one, the Mario racing ones. You're playing with like cartoon characters versus when you play a game, don't you want to get immersed into the character as an adult? Now, I know you hate playing like Tomb Raider, Rev, because you don't want to play as a female and whatnot, but
I've been playing Tomb Raider.
I know you have, but you don't like to do it, but you're doing it because of the game anyways. But are you going to want to play as a little elf wearing tight green shorts, or
He played it and bought it on 2 consoles.
I know he did it. I teased him for it too. I gave him a hard time. Or are you going to,
He
play?
teased me. He teased me for it.
You guys got the bet.
Well, you said censorship, so I didn't want to say anything too rough.
No, be you, man. Just
But if you want to, or you gonna play Assassin's Creed, go around stabbing and killing people, and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like you feel like one is silly, one's cool to play with your kid, and the other is for an adult,
I
right?
mean, I don't hate on people for it. I pick on them for it, but yeah, I'm not going to hate on them.
Yeah.
for
We
it.
bust
That's their
chops. I don't
choice.
hate anybody for what they play, but it's like I look at Silver, I look at Baron. It's just like
It feels like
I
it doesn't make no
understand
sense.
How you can be hyped for this shit?
Yeah, but yeah,
Not
yeah,
anymore. When
You
we
don't
were
want me to
kids,
go
yeah.
first or last on this,
Listen.
man. You go ahead, Silver. I'll go after you.
Go ahead, Silver.
All right, listen. The whole thing with Crash Bandicoot for me is more of a nostalgia thing, because back when I had PlayStation, those Crash Bandicoot games were one of the top selling games for PlayStation at the time. That Spiral, Medieval. So the fact that they're remastering games like that and you get to go through and play it again as an adult with better graphics, I like that aspect. You understand what I'm saying? And
Okay, so you're saying if it was a new IP, there'd be no hype there? Is that what you're saying?
No, I probably would still play it if it was a new IP.
Well, Silver, when I was a kid, it was Super Nintendo versus Genesis. I played the Sega Genesis. I'd play Final Fantasy 3, 4, 5, 6. The nostalgia, I understand what you're saying. I haven't played a Final Fantasy for 20 years, and I'm not going to. Those days are done. They're over with. I don't even see the desire to even want to do that anymore.
That's you. Not everyone.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people, though.
Yeah.
That's you, boy.
That's you. You know what I mean?
Rev thought he had the nostalgia, and he played it for 3 hours.
What game is that?
The Nintendo Zelda one, the Switch.
Yeah, see, that's the hardest part I had, Baron. Well, you know what? That's not true, man. I'm going to be real with you, man. I probably would have kept playing Zelda if my freaking weapons didn't break every 2 freaking seconds, man.
Yeah,
if I wasn't climbing up a mountain and falling off because of my damn stamina constantly. I'm climbing up a mountain, it decides it's going to rain, and now I got to slip off the damn thing. I said, you know what? Get this shit out of here.
Rev don't like that realism. I got it.
Oh, my God. Realism in
not real.
cartoon Candyland.
Hey, you know what's funny? Because we're talking about like manly versus not manly gaming kind of stuff.
Adult versus child, yeah.
Yeah, essentially. But we're talking about like Baron's, a big dude. Silver's a big dude. Rev's a big dude, or whatever. A friend of mine in real life found the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, he's like, it caught me off guard. He's like, you guys hate on Nintendo too much. And I was like, that's all you took from that? He's like, yeah, and you guys are all pretty big dudes. I wouldn't expect none of you guys to play video games.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
And that's why I want to pick up on my view of it from there.
Go ahead.
This is why I always mess with the Sony fan base and I drag them through the mud all the time. They truly believe that the video games that they play make them seem mature in other people's eyes, but people who are not gamers, they look at you like you still play video games.
Yep,
it's all the same to them. There is no adult game, there's no child game. To them, you are playing video games. Video games is still kind of widely viewed as a child activity. So you're not looking more manlier to anybody but yourself. So that's what kills me about that, because that's how everybody views what Vic just gave us an example of. That's how most people view it. They view it as you just play video games.
Okay, so somebody comes in and you're playing GTA 5, and then somebody comes in and you're playing Crash Bandicoot. Which one looks worse?
No, this is
it doesn't matter to a non-gamer. It don't matter.
So to piggyback off that, this is why he's right. So I've had female friends come over to my house, and
Exactly.
I have an open entertainment center, and they're like, "Oh, I would never think that you play games." And if they saw me playing something like Crash Bandicoot, they would actually be more engaged and want to play something like that as opposed to me playing GTA, right?
Because they're
Yeah.
female.
LJ, stop.
All
Hey
I'm
man, no
saying is,
sexism in this podcast
Stop,
now.
LJ.
all I'm saying is, in my personal
I
experience,
like it.
what you think is more appealing to certain people isn't. Like stuff like Mario, like I have the SNES Classic, the little tiny one that you can plug in with HDMI.
Old
And
school.
when girls see that, they're super hyped for that. But when they walk in and see a PlayStation, they don't play anything on PlayStation, right? So yeah, it has the adverse effect. But if someone walks in and you have a controller in your hand and they don't play games, their go-to is like, oh, like I would have never expect you to play games.
I agree with that. Completely.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
agree
matter
with
what
that
you're
completely.
playing. You could be playing GTA. You could be playing The Witcher.
Yeah.
They just say, yeah, you don't look like the kind of guy who plays games.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's
Well, yeah, non-gamers will look at any gamer equally.
Yeah, but I'm talking about for females, they're much more engaged playing stuff like Crash.
Childish games, yeah. Females.
Yeah, it's that's the general consensus. It's like you are playing the game. So when people talk
I agree,
about,
Barrett.
people try to sit up here and try to label, oh, this is an adult game, this is a kid game. It ain't really like that. Unless the game is Sesame Street 1, 2, 3 ABCs.
Yeah,
it's not a child's game. It's a video game.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I agree with you there.
Sesame Street ABCs, aka Crash Bandicoot.
Hey, if you
So
guys
Zelda.
really feel some type of way about it, get on the sticks.
Yeah, so when people bring up stuff like Mario, it's like, well, Mario has universal appeal. It appeals to every demographic in the gaming community. You know what I mean? It just blows my mind how people try to label Mario or even try to label Zelda, which I think is the most asinine thing. And then they hype up stuff like Spider-Man, a guy from a comic book that flies around in the sky on fucking webs. And then you try to hype up stuff like Kingdom Hearts 3 or like
God, hell no,
Final Fantasy. It's like, bro, you are not separating yourself. You are showing no separation at all.
I've seen that a lot on Twitter. People who make fun of like Zelda and Mario, and then they're like, "I'm so hyped for Kingdom Hearts." I'm like,
it's the same game. Yeah,
it's like, dude, like you. How can you hate on that and then be like, "Yeah, I'm super hyped for Goofy"?
All right, Baron, I'm going to ask you a question, man. Do you look at video games as toys?
No, I don't look at it as a toy simply because video games can now be a moneymaker for you. Esports is probably the biggest growing sports or business industry right now in America. So I don't really consider it as a toy anymore because it's some serious money out there.
Let's say you're not making money. You're just playing in your leisure time. Is it a toy?
I guess by definition, you might could say it's a toy.
No,
but
we looked up the definition.
Yeah, but the thing is, a toy is really just catered to a child, though. You know what I mean? Would you call people who collect action figures or toys or collectibles toys?
And I said the same thing.
I feel like action figures are
a gray line there, so you really can't say it's a toy.
Nah, I mean, you didn't ask me, but I look at it as entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I don't know, we all got hobbies and we all spend our time differently, right? I am engaging in a form of entertainment, interactive, right? I don't feel like what I do in my leisure time is any worse than someone sitting on their couch watching Netflix. That's their entertainment. I just look at it as entertainment. Mine's just a little bit more active.
What do you think, Silver?
I agree with Vic on that. It's just another form of entertainment.
So a video game system is not a toy? A video game is not a toy?
I don't think so.
What is it to you?
Because when I think of a toy, I think of like action figures and like little NASCAR race cars and Hot Wheels and stuff like that. I don't think of I never thought of a console as a toy.
All right, let me read you the definition. A toy is an object for a child to play with, typically a model or miniature replica of something. And a video game, by definition, is a game played by electronically manipulating images produced by a computer program on a television screen or other display screen. So if we're going by definitions here, a video game is absolutely not a toy.
Yeah, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
What say you, LJ?
No, I agree with that. We already talked about that one before. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and Baron, I absolutely agree with you on that. If you're trying, like, for me to make the case that I'm being more manly by playing GTA 6 as opposed to you playing The Legend of Zelda, it's kind of a silly argument. But at the same time, when you're sitting around with the fellas and everybody's, we're all talking about Days Gone, or as you call it, Days Trash, and then you're over here playing Mario Maker 2, it's like, man, come on, man. Seriously, you coming at us with that bullshit ass game? You know what I mean?
Look, Rev, look. Let me tell you something real quick, man. You'll be surprised what people are into. And I hate to bring up sales. I hate to bring up sales.
Bathwater.
I mean, besides bathwater, I'm talking about as far as game. I hate to bring up sales, but it's a very indicative thing. I was actually shocked when the whole Pokemon Go craze happened. When it first popped off and everybody was doing it and everybody was walking around with their phone in their hand trying to catch Pokemon, I was actually shocked at how wide the demographic was.
Yeah, it was
and
big.
how people were showing up doing. I mean, we had people showing up in parks in Atlanta for Pokemon meetups. I'm talking about people 40, 50, 60, 29. I'm like, this is insane. I didn't think people played Pokemon into their 50s. That's just crazy. So that's why I say it's
epidemic. I thought the world went crazy.
It becomes a wide appeal. You know what I mean? I think people are just addicted to gameplay. It really doesn't matter per se what people perceive the game as being kiddie or adult, or rated M for mature or E for everyone. So that's how I feel about that.
I got you. All right, what's the next topic here, Vic? What else we got? What else on the agenda here today?
Well, I think all of us, well, I don't know all of us, but most of us have played pretty much every Call of Duty that's ever come out. And recently, there was an article stating the crazy development cycle that Black Ops 4 and Black Ops 3 went through, but they focused mainly on Black Ops 4. And what was highlighted was the campaign for Black Ops 4 was developed and canceled halfway through, and they were forced to build a battle royale mode, Blackout, in 9 months. So how do you feel about? Basically, they lied to everybody about what was going on. And what were your thoughts on that? Are you surprised by that?
I'm not surprised by it. Go ahead, Baron.
I don't give a damn because Blackout was phenomenal. Blackout was good as hell. That mode was good, so I don't care.
I like Blackout too.
What do you think, LJ?
I never played COD, but I'd rather play the campaign than just a battle royale.
Yeah. I'd rather have a campaign, man, any day of the week. You're asking me, I'd rather have a campaign. I think it's bullshit, but at the same time, Vic, you're always talking about making money. As far as a money-making ploy, they did the right thing.
100%. And they were trying to ride the wave, right?
Yeah.
The wave was Battle Royale. The campaign, the concept of the campaign for Black Ops 4 was actually going to be 2v2. Like you and your buddy versus someone and their buddy, and you were playing against each other in a campaign. And
dude, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That
would have been great. That would have been actually great to see.
But the scope of that project wasn't coming along fast enough. And that's when the Battle Royale wave was hitting, right? Because people only think about games being developed in the current year, right? But they don't realize this game's been in development for 3 years. So after their first year, the Battle Royale wave is hitting, right? So basically, in the middle of their dev cycle, their campaign was canceled and they had to come up with something else, right? Because no one was going to just take multiplayer and zombies. You needed a third mode, and they developed Blackout in 9 months, which is super impressive for, it was actually pretty good. But yeah, I'm not surprised by it. And there were leaks that there was a campaign in development, and they denied it. And I didn't buy it because anybody who's ever put out a product before knows how much stuff gets left on the cutting room floor. You'll hear that in every product that's being made. Like, you'll have an idea and a concept for a product, and you'll have a vision for it, and you'll put your all into it, and then someone, the higher ups will be like, oh no, like this is not going to meet the deadline, so let's come up with something that we can turn around in 9 months, or something that will appeal to the masses, like a battle royale. So I'm definitely not surprised by it. These companies lie all the time. And that actually branches into another topic, which is recently the next game, Modern Warfare, they have been saying there's not going to be no battle royale. It's a spec ops game. It's a multiplayer game. It's a campaign game until last week. They were asked specifically, is there going to be a battle royale? And now they're saying no comment, which leads me to believe that maybe that is going to be in development because of the success of Blackout. And how would you guys feel about having another battle royale in the next Call of Duty?
I think you're putting all this time and effort into a campaign with Call of Duty, and I forget what the statistics were, but not a lot of people actually play the campaign. I'm guilty of it myself. Infinite Warfare, I just couldn't get into it, man. It just felt too samey. So you put all this time and effort into a campaign that most of your audience isn't even going to play. It's a whole lot easier to just make a battle royale mode. Let's just make a giant map and then boom,
and
fill it with people. That's so much easier than putting the time and effort into a campaign.
And not to
everybody's going to play. Go ahead.
Yeah, not to step on anybody else who's about to talk, but what people don't realize is the development for the campaigns are usually way more expensive in terms of development, like research and development time, than the multiplayer is.
Mm-hmm.
And all companies ever preach, no matter what market you work in, is return on investment, right? So if you're spending like 70% of your budget on a campaign that maybe 30% of your audience is going to complete, and something that you can't monetize, it makes sense why you're not seeing traditional campaigns in Call of Duty anymore. So, yeah.
What do you think about that, Silver? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because you look at Apex and yeah, I know. I know you're gonna say, "Oh," but those games they're free.
The game's not bad,
and they're popular as hell. Just for it's free. Everyone's just playing battle royale. So it looks like at this point you might as well ride the wave until it's over with.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
but just call it a battle royale game when it comes out.
Huh?
Just label it as a battle royale game. Not, hey, we're not going to tease you guys and tell us a campaign. Look at PUBG that came out here, battle royale. Just go at it. You know what you're getting into when you bought it.
Yeah, but the new Modern Warfare, they're trying to push that campaign. Yes or no?
Yeah, they definitely are. That's their selling point.
But that's what I'm saying. Either you do the campaign with it, or just put out a battle royale without even announcing a campaign.
Yeah, but
the special edition kind of thing.
The battle royale is kind of going to be a plus if you look at it. They're pushing campaign.
Yeah, exactly. Because during the bulk of this development, and even when it was announced, they were saying there's not going to be a battle royale. That's not something that's in the scope of this game. Like, it's spec ops, it's multiplayer, it's campaign. That's what our game is. And they're just now saying no comments, which leads me to believe that they're starting to develop it. It might not launch with the game. Maybe the game will be delayed, but with Modern Warfare, you're getting at least a campaign, a multiplayer, and the spec ops co-op mode. So, I mean, go ahead.
No, I mean, I was saying, let's not kid ourselves. We know they're going to come out with a battle royale.
Yeah, but it probably won't be ready at launch. But
yeah,
when you look at the return on investment on Blackout, they would be kind of foolish not to capitalize on that, right? Because you're making so much money off of the cosmetics and the loot boxes and all that. So,
and I feel like you gotta put out a battle royale at this point to compete with those free games. You know what I mean?
To keep people like you playing it, Silver.
I don't play Apex or Fortnite. You got me messed up with the wrong one.
Sure you don't.
I don't. I really don't.
Hey, this is a little off topic here. Does anybody here vape? Do we have any vapors in the house?
No.
Baron, do you vape? I can't see you vaping while playing.
Man, I don't vape. That's the dumbest shit in the world.
It's lame, right? Hey, LJ, you vape?
No, I do the real thing if I do.
Okay, so my man Blaze,
Oh, he's a vapor.
Wow, and I used to ridicule him. I'm like,
Oh,
dude, you sitting there vaping? At least have some balls and smoke a real cigarette. You know what I mean? Well, the wife started vaping. I was like, man, let me try that bullshit. I'm vaping now.
oh man.
Oh man.
I've been
Come
vaping this whole
on,
time.
bro.
Oh my
God.
god.
I'd
Here we
rather
go.
play Nintendo games.
Hey,
man.
bro, kick me off the
Oh.
podcast, bro.
I'm gone.
trying to
Hey,
tell
I'm
you.
gone.
Hey,
I'm
kick
out.
me,
Crash
kick,
I got
Bandicoot.
the smoke, the smoke Novo. This shit is top notch, man.
it's probably shaped like a wiener, bro.
Oh man, it's like I don't know. Anyways,
7 inches long.
No, it ain't long.
I think vaping is just so
I agree, man. There ain't no way to make it look cool, neither, man. This
it
shit,
ain't. It's you sucking on this long, skinny ass pipe. It's
nah, this thing's too
Hey,
short.
Rev,
It's not.
Hey, bro, it's cool.
It looks like a lighter. Is
Hey,
It's
what it-
Rev.
2019, man. It's all
Rev,
good.
yeah, it's 2019, bro. Whatever you want to suck on is your business.
Hey, Rev, listen. I'm all for it, but I won't look at you
Of
any
course you
different.
are.
I won't look at you any different,
I'm about to change my number.
I'm sure you will.
but just please, if you come to the gym, don't bring it with you.
No, hell no.
I don't want those guys trying to pick on you, and I'm gonna be like, hey, I don't know him. He's a new guy.
Pick on me.
So Rev and Baron, how do you guys feel about a battle royale being in the next Call of Duty?
I don't want it. I'm sick of battle royale. I know.
Not
better.
even as an option, even if you have to sacrifice
I'm
campaign.
sick of it. I want an awesome ass campaign, something we haven't seen before. I think that's why I kind of clung to my friend Pedro. Is as bad as that sounds, it was different. I felt like I was playing something different. I played all these first-person shooters. I've played so many now. They're just all blurring together at this point, man. It's just the same thing, aiming down the side, shooting. Nothing's any different. Nobody's incorporating any bullet damage. There's no destruction. It's the same damn game. You know what I mean? So battle royale, it's just the same. I've played it too much. I don't care anymore. I want something different. So I can see people being excited for that Death Stranding because it's different. I get it. I think the gaming industry is in great need of something different.
And I think you're right. So that's why that difference is Astral Chain.
Oh,
It's that difference that you need. It's that difference that you need, Rev.
Yo, Baron, stop. No one's gonna give in, but
But the comment on the thing in hand, I'm gonna put it to you like this. Every year, people line up for midnight releases for Call of Duty. Why are they lining up for Call of Duty every year?
Multiplayer.
Exactly. There's nothing else to be said.
and zombies. And zombies. That's
That's still multiplayer. So
Yeah. And every year they say Call of Duty's dying, and every year it outsells everything.
Yeah, you know what I just bought on the Steam summer sale? I bought World War II, Call of Duty World War II for $23. Or no, it was $19. Dude, that is such a underrated campaign. This campaign is so good, especially with a mouse and keyboard. Goodness gracious. You want to talk about smooth gameplay. Awesome voice acting, awesome graphics, awesome set pieces. Very, very good campaign. I don't know if you guys have played it or not. I'll take that as a no from the silence.
I'm sorry, what, Rev?
yeah.
I didn't say anything.
Wait, what game were you talking about?
oh man.
Call of Duty World War II, the campaign.
Nah.
It was decent. It was a little bit generic, but it
Starts
wasn't
out
bad.
generic. It starts out very generic. It starts out like it wants to be Saving Private Ryan.
I feel like the
As it
final
goes,
act,
it gets better and better.
it does, but that final act is super rushed. Where you go to the camp. I don't want to spoil it, but when you go to the camp, like that whole sequence was super short. It was like the shortest part of the game, and I feel like they could have done more with that.
Probably. I don't remember. What else we got? We got anything else?
Yeah, we actually have 3 topics left. If you still want to run it.
Hit
So
it.
the next topic we have is the game that you're talking about. Was developed by the co-founder of Sledgehammer Games, Glenn Schofield. He also was one of the heads of
Dead Space.
visceral games that make Dead Space.
Yeah.
He started his own development studio called Striking Distance, and they were brought in by PUBG Corp to create a narrative-based game in the PUBG universe. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't know.
Oh, you go ahead.
No, I mean, I don't know. It really depends on what they're planning on doing. Are they gonna have a campaign and this and that, or is it just gonna still be a battle royale?
Another battle royale, yeah.
Well, no, from what I'm understanding, all they said so far is it's a AAA game based in the PUBG universe, but it's not like a sequel to PUBG. It's just based in that universe, and it's a narrative-based game, so I'm assuming it has a campaign.
Yeah, when I think,
but it'll still have a battle royale.
Oh yeah, probably it'll have to have a battle royale component, but it should have a campaign. That's why they're saying it's a narrative-based game.
I don't know. I don't really have any thoughts on that. I'd have to see something. You know what I mean? I'd have to see gameplay. Like Baron.
Yeah, we definitely aren't going to see that for a while because it was just their studio just started like literally 2 weeks ago.
It'll be a few years.
Yeah.
What else you got? That the best you got? You got something else. Hey, Silver, what did you just buy, man? Did you just buy Days Gone?
No, I'm actually gonna go get that on Friday, but
okay, so you still don't have it. You claim to be a Sony guy. Why is this game not in your possession?
Rev, I'm a busy man.
You're a busy man, but you say Sony till you die. See what I mean? This is what I mean by you trying to play a character. This is what I mean by
God, listen, don't start trying to put
I feel like you guys play characters, but you don't
play characters. I play games. All right. Just because I don't have Days Gone doesn't mean I'm not playing my play.
What have you been playing? What have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of fighting games, and I just started playing
Crash Team Racing.
Crash Team Racing. I just started playing Persona 5. That's kind of got my attention right
Persona 5 over Days Gone?
Hey, leave me alone. You don't get it.
Let him live.
Don't get it, guy. Let me live.
Okay, so we'll stop interrogating Silver. The next topic I have, it's more about the more broad implications of what is going on. So NBA 2K19 mysteriously went on sale for $3 last month, and I bought it, and I know a lot of people that bought it. And after they sold it for $3, they started implementing a new type of ad revenue on that game, where before you started a match, you would be subjected to a minute-long unskippable ad for shows like on FX and stuff like that. How do you feel about ads in games that you've already paid full retail price for? Like,
give me my money back.
Yeah, essentially.
Refund. I don't want to play it.
But you only paid $3 for it? How can you bitch?
Well, because not everybody paid $3 for it. What about the people that bought it?
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, what if you bought that game day one and towards the end of its life cycle, they put it on sale, and then all of a sudden you start seeing minute-long unskippable ads before you're about to play? Okay, let's say it's not a basketball game, because I know a lot of people in here don't play that. What if you were about to fire up a round of Call of Duty and there was a fucking 45 second unskippable ad before each match? How would you feel about that?
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. But this guy here, JP Capone, he says you can turn the ads off.
Really? That's not what it says in the article. But I'll take his word for it, because this article is from a couple weeks ago. But I know there was a lot of pushback from the 2K community on these ads because they were deemed as intrusive. But essentially what the topic would be is, how do you feel about intrusive ads like this moving forward?
That's no good. That can't happen.
I need to comment on this. These ads are not really something that's new. They was in 2K before. I think the outrage. Yeah, but the thing is, you could actually go into the settings and turn off the 2K TV, which will stop the ads.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little backwards trick, but I think people didn't realize it because only really the sports fanatics played, 2K and Madden. But this is not really something new. I think everybody got a wind of it once they put 2K on sale for $3. And then everybody was buying it up because it was $3. And it was like, oh, what the hell is this? And I was laughing. I was like, yo, this is not really something new.
Yeah, for me, I'm not really familiar with it because I haven't really played 2K in a very long time. But I also heard that there were ads similar to this in Street Fighter, but I couldn't confirm it because I don't play Street Fighter.
Oh, I didn't play that Street Fighter 5, so I wouldn't know.
But yeah, as far as my views on it, I feel like those have no business being in the game at all. Toggle on, toggle off at all, right?
I think this is I think we're going a little bit too, ahead of ourselves. This really has to do with the sponsorship, when it relates to the NBA and the teams and stuff. That's pretty much what it is, because it's ads for like Gatorade and stuff like that. Stuff that centers around the NBA universe. So it ain't really something like, oh, it's just a random ad that we thrown in 2K. It all has to do with the sponsorships and everybody partnerships with the NBA teams, all that type of stuff that we really don't have no control over. So that's kind of what that situation is with 2K. So I don't think we're going to have that.
You didn't buy the game to look at that bullshit. You bought the game to play the game, not to
That's
look.
true. That's true.
Well, not only that, but
when you guys are playing online against each other, as playing against friends, or just playing it by yourself?
That happens before the game starts. So you'll pick your team. And then
it goes into an ad?
Yeah, you play the ad plays, and sometimes you can skip it.
Yeah.
But the game is basically loading y'all together.
But that's the thing people were complaining about, where they were saying the loading times were artificially inflated to fit a 1-minute ad.
Yeah.
And initially those ads were targeted towards like NBA League Pass and stuff that targeted, basketball fans. But what it turned into is like ads for like FX original TV shows, and people were like, what is this? Like, why am I having to watch this before I play a game of 2K?
But yeah, it just goes.
We know when you're loading a multiplayer game, a multiplayer match, those are some long ass load times, no matter what you're playing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I mean, if you're paying $60, you're paying already for a premium experience. I feel like, man, like, I shouldn't be looking at ads during my loading screen. I know that might sound like petty, but like I did.
Like Baron says, you can turn it off. I don't really see the big deal.
Yeah, but I mean, how many casual people know that you can actually do that?
A lot of people don't know. But if the game is loading, come on, it's just an ad. People, it's loading. The game is literally loading.
If you're a diehard sports fan, you're gonna buy it. You're gonna buy Madden or 2K where they have load time. Yeah, you know what I mean. The new Madden comes out and they tell me, hey, you're gonna have to watch a 1-minute ad before every game. I'm still gonna buy the game.
Yeah. What happens when they release the
problem?
What happens when they release the $70 or $80 version of that game with no ads? You buying that?
Some people are. I'm not buying it, but some people are gonna buy it.
Because I feel like that's the next step, right? Like.
If you have a deluxe edition with everything,
you get no ad. I can see them doing that. Because honestly, people don't talk about it because it's not an EA game, but 2K has the scummiest microtransaction system in any video game.
Oh yeah.
Their microtransactions are crazy.
Yeah, there was like stuff where you can like get a haircut for your created player, but you couldn't preview the haircut. You had to buy it to see what it was. It's like, dude, like, don't tell me you don't have the tech, because San Andreas has that tech from the PS2. It's real scummy, man. They pump out that VC like crazy.
Now let me play devil's advocate here. When you're watching these ads for a sports game, doesn't that kind of make the experience a little more authentic?
It kind of does, because you got stuff like you have Gatorade or whoever sponsoring a team like T-Mobile or something like that. It fits 2K, but I can understand how people would say, well, I want to skip it. I just want to skip it and just go straight into the game. I get that, but those type of things kind of fit the experience for NBA, because that's what you see it fitting.
Now, if I'm playing Call of Duty and Mountain Dew pops up, get it.
Have a Doritos commercial pop up.
Yeah, that can't happen.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even care if the ads were in the game. I get it, but they need to be skippable ads. I shouldn't be sitting through no ads.
Now, here's the question: if they gave you an option to get the game for $20 cheaper, for $20 less, and you had to sit through 1-minute ads here and there, would you do it?
100%. I just go take a piss. Yeah, I don't care. Like, I got shit to do.
What you're saying though?
What's up?
You don't want the ads, but yet you're going to contribute to them?
Well, no, because I'm not paying $60 retail price for a game with ads in it. If I'm paying $40, that's the choice I made, right?
Yeah.
I'm taking that hit for $20, right? Some people will be like, for $20, show me whatever ad you want to show me if I can get the game 30% off, 100%. But I mean, at the same time, knowing me, I'd probably just buy a $60 version with no ads in it. But yeah, that would be a dope option. But if I'm paying $60 retail price for a game,
I want to see that.
those ads better be skippable, 100%.
I think we're just reaching a little bit. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and this is different, but it's like the padding in the game, the grindiness of the game. And I've talked to some guys on Twitter said it wasn't grindy. I'm here to tell you, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is very, very grindy. My son has invested a lot of time into that game, and he got bored. He turned it off, and I asked him what the problem was. He just said it's too grindy. He says he's doing the exact same thing over and over again, and he's not leveling up fast enough. All the campaign missions are way out of his level, and he's got to keep looking for side missions. And to me, that's unacceptable, man. You go into those, and you see they got the time saver packs, the money saver packs, and this and that, and I feel like it is there just so you won't have to grind, and that's very, very sleazy.
That's extortion
Marketing. Yeah,
they're creating artificial grind in the game to extort you out of your money so that you can save your time. Because let's be real, what's more important to you, your time or your money? Some of us work 60 hours a week. I don't got time to grind 90 hours in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So it's like I feel like that's predatory, just in my view.
It is predatory, but who you have to blame for that, right? You have to blame these free-to-play games. That's who created that.
Oh yeah. And
created that monster.
That's true, but to take that even further, who you need to really blame for that is mobile games. Because mobile games created that. And then mobile games created the free-to-play market on the console and just took all of the structure of, like what you're paying into from mobile games. So
I've never played a mobile game. So
what you have, because you've played things. If you've ever played anything that's free to play, all of their like packs and services and time saver packs, all that stuff came from mobile gaming. Yeah, we just never saw it because we never played it. But that's where all that stuff started. It's the highest return on investment in gaming.
It's pretty scummy, and it sucks that there's some good games that are free to play models. Such like Warframe. Yeah, Warframe is probably the prime number one example of how to handle microtransactions.
Because they don't extort you.
Yeah. So it's terrible. It really
is. It is.
What else we got?
We have one topic left, and it's a pretty big one. There was a huge GTA 6 leak on Reddit, and it went into pretty big details on the protagonists, the structure, and even the code name of the game. So the code name of the game is supposedly Project Americas, and it will be set in the 1970s and 1980s. It is a standalone protagonist who's male.
Awesome.
Surprisingly.
And essentially, it's based off of the Netflix series Narcos.
Oh,
so you're basically starting from the bottom and becoming a drug kingpin in that time period over time.
Okay. First off, I think that rumor was already confirmed fake, so I don't think we need to.
Oh, come on! I'm over here.
Ruin it, Baron.
I'm just saying, y'all. I don't want y'all to get all excited. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, honestly,
when I really leak like that, no.
When I saw this and I saw how much detail it was, I was like, man, this seems like it might be fake, but it's a cool concept. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, they're saying in the comments it's fake, man. Oh, good job, Vic.
Yo, you know, I was actually hyped about that because I read.
Hey, bro, I got a real job too.
Y'all should have known better, really. Y'all know better. Y'all knew that wasn't real. You know it wasn't.
You know what made me feel like it wasn't real was how detailed it was, because there's like 40 bullet points on this thing.
You know that was fake, man. Come on, bro.
No, it's going to be 3 playable characters. One's going to be a female. That's what I feel is going to happen.
And the other 2 are going to identify as female.
Colored clothes, and the other one will be like I don't know, man.
A transgender.
No, that's.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just see him taking a hard left on this next game, man. I just
think so.
Rockstar's been the only one to really like stay the course. It's just a matter of time.
I don't, but that's the thing. I don't think that they will buckle under that pressure.
I don't know. We'll see. Everybody else has. We'll see.
I don't think them buckling under pressure is having like a female lead. I could see a female lead this time around. I could see that.
A female that's jacking and like jacking cars and blasting dudes and
but Rev, you actually see that. You know, you actually see that in Hollywood. So it's like it's
I don't see it in Hollywood.
Only as of recent years.
What's that one TV show, Queen of the South, where there's the one girl coming up as becoming a drug kingpin? That's the whole story of it, and she's out there selling cocaine by the kilo and shooting motherfuckers in the head. I mean, at some point we'll get a game like that where GTA will have a female lead, so I wouldn't be surprised if
it's coming. It's coming, and I think it's going to be GTA 6.
Oh man, it is confirmed fake. It was confirmed fake by Jason Schreier of Kotaku.
You should have known it was fake, Vic, when you read that.
Hey man, look, I got a job. I work 60 hours a week. I was trying to find anything I could find after post E3. It's been super dry, all right?
Yeah, Vic's my topic guy, man. He's been doing awesome.
Vic, you did good.
Yeah, he's been doing real
honestly, that censorship topic went a lot deeper than I thought it would, but that was good content.
Yeah. But we could bring up what I was brought up to you earlier, Rev.
Go ahead.
About the thread I made on Twitter that absolutely just blew up and just went crazy.
Give us some context.
Okay. I had people, certain people, say this to me before in the past, but I'm starting to hear it, you know, a lot more from the Sony guys in the Sony camp, where, you know, they believe that, you know, Naughty Dog is on this developing pedestal that they're really not on. So me taking that, you know, their view, I'm actually put it to the test, right? So I made this, you know, this tweet on Twitter, and I put 4 options. Everybody knows the 4 gotta go meme, where you just pick one to leave, and you keep the other 3.
I saw that bait.
So I put Naughty Dog up there with 3 prominent developers to see what people will say. I didn't give them any context, but you can keep 3 developers, you get 1 to 1. I didn't give any other context than that. And overwhelmingly, people picked Naughty Dog. That out of the 4 developers, which was Rockstar, Nintendo, and Capcom, and Naughty Dog, people chose Naughty Dog to delete. So my question is, where did PlayStation fans get this idea from that Naughty Dog was like one of the best developers in the world? I really don't see that. I don't know how that happened. I don't know when that happened. I haven't seen anybody ever say that before. So I'm trying to figure out where did that come from.
Yeah, but if you look at it like this, if you delete Capcom, you lose Street Fighter, you lose Mega Man, you lose Devil May Cry, you lose a lot of games.
So in other words, you lose nothing. Gotcha.
You lose 90s games that meant something and 2000 games that meant nothing.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you want to, you know, I'm not trying to shit on Naughty Dog per se. You know, they're a good B- studio. They're not bad. It's just that, you know, just have respect for the rest of the, you know, the gaming world and the gaming community. It's like,
don't they have the right to state their opinion that they feel like Naughty Dog is one of the best coming?
No. They're not saying one. They're saying the, as in THE, the best. And I'm like, well, if they're the best, then people wouldn't pick Naughty Dog in this one gotta go meme I created. It'd be simple. But overwhelmingly, people pick Naughty Dog. So it's like,
but you have a specific target audience that I don't think would appeal to Naughty Dog.
No, my tweet went viral, so it wasn't really my audience.
There's a lot of people biting on it. Do you remember who I picked, Baron?
Yeah, you picked everybody.
I eliminated everybody.
That's rev for you.
And
Get
Rev
rid of
got a
them
lot
all.
That's rev for you.
You know what's crazy was the second place was Rockstar.
It was. That blew my mind too.
Which was surprising because Rockstar is proves that they're a top tier developer, which kind of, I don't know. It's that poll seems a little illegitimate once I saw that Rockstar. Now, I get it. Naughty Dog's games follow a very similar formula, so maybe that formula doesn't appeal to a certain group of people, but I felt like Rockstar is kind of an undeniable top level dev, and they were the second highest voted out of that list.
I think it has a lot to do with the backlash Rockstar got for like the overtime thing with Red Dead Redemption. I think people are still feeding off of that. To hate on him a little bit, but it's undeniable.
Because I saw you in there defending him, and I was like, yeah, see, it's not just me. It's not just me.
Yeah. So it's like, you know.
Look, I must say this, and I hate the damage control for Naughty Dog, especially Neil Druckmann with Anita Sarkeesian being his hero.
His WCW.
I can't stand that. But dude, Baron, let's be real here. Naughty Dog makes like crazy good games, and I know you don't agree with that, but dude, like Uncharted 4, that game is like phenomenal. Okay, Uncharted 4 is for The Last of Us, as everybody knows, one of my favorite games of all time. Dude, The Last of Us isn't just a game, man. That's an experience. Uncharted 4 is an experience, man. And look, I'm not for the direction for The Last of Us 2. I want Joel. And even when I saw that demo for The Last of Us 2, I'm over here going, oh my God, they're making Ellie the focus. When I saw that gameplay, I said, holy shit, dude. So when Naughty Dog makes a game demo, when they come out with a game demo, everybody watches, dude. And they deliver what they put out. That's the thing about it, man.
Yeah.
If they show it to you, that's what you're getting. Oh, that's not how The Last of Us 2 is going to look. Oh, bullshit. Yes, it is.
The craziest part about that is you'll see that it's like prominent in the comments for their showcases of their games is, oh, this is CGI, or oh, this isn't representative of gameplay. Oh, this is a vertical slice. But with Naughty Dog, it's really not.
It's not. No.
It's not.
They're top notch, man. They're talented.
And the only other studios that are really like that are Sony Santa Monica and Rockstar. When they show you something, it's never usually worse at the final product. It's usually better.
Yeah.
Baron's awful quiet.
Well, I mean, y'all
you got
Naughty Dog. I mean, I'm used to it now.
You got Breath of the Wild, right?
Okay.
Yeah. It brings all these awesome. It's like it's all gameplay, and for that, you're absolutely right, man. It's awesome. It just thrusts you into the game world, and it's all gameplay. So that is cool. But you take Naughty Dog, and yes, you got your cutscenes, you got your story-driven gameplay, but they have top-notch gameplay with photorealistic graphics, man. And that, in my opinion, is the most immersive experience.
Well, I mean, it just really depends on the character. It depends on, the atmosphere and the story and the world you're trying to build. The one thing that bothers me is that everybody has this photorealism fetish. Like, do you understand how boring gaming would be if every single solitary game that's ever made was photorealistic? Can you imagine that?
I agree with what you're saying, but that's why Naughty Dog isn't subject to that same rule, because they make awesome games. Quantum Break looked fantastic. Look at the facial animations. Dude, I was bored to death with Quantum Break. It takes a special developer to have like The Order 18. I forget what it's called. The Order was it's a mediocre game, and the graphics are phenomenal.
Yeah.
But see, Naughty Dog, you get the phenomenal graphics with the phenomenal gameplay and the phenomenal storytelling. There's storytelling in the gameplay. How many conversations take place while you're playing the game, and it makes it that much more immersive, man.
I got you. They're good at making the movies. They're good at narrating.
Oh,
I'm not dissing that. I'm not dissing that whatsoever.
Movie would be Until Dawn. That's a movie game.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Or the
That's worse than a movie.
that game that's coming out for free on PlayStation this month, the
Detroit.
robot one,
Yeah,
Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah, you can't compare Naughty Dog to those types of games, man.
I'm not comparing them to those.
You know what I mean? If that's the case, then you got to say Red Dead 2 is essentially that.
All I'm saying is that Naughty Dog is really good at narrating stuff. I'm not saying they're bad at doing it. They're very good at doing that. That's what they do.
Narrating stuff and incorporating top-notch gameplay.
I don't know about top notch, man.
Why-
I mean,
Oh
Why would
my
you say it's not
God.
top notch?
why would you say, are people raving about The Last of Us multiplayer? Are people raving about Uncharted?
Yes, dude. Last of Us multiplayer got very it's what is the word? Neat.
That was the
multiplayer.
most-
People
most
still play
split-
that.
That was the most split fan base I've ever seen on multiplayer.
Because
Split
it wasn't
down the middle.
easy. It wasn't easy to get into, man.
That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't accessible like Call of Duty. You can just get into Call of Duty, start killing people. If you go into The Last of Us not knowing what to do, you're going to get your shit pushed in. And a lot of gamers don't want to play that.
And the thing is, or it could not have been that. It couldn't have been very good. So I'm saying when people bring up, Naughty Dog, they bring up The Last of Us, bring up Uncharted. I mean, it's the same template they've been using. It's really nothing revolutionary or genre defying they've been doing with their games. They've just been telling great stories. That's good. That's all good. I don't deny that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I call them a B- studio. That's not a bad grade. That's just good.
But in your eyes, what makes them a B- studio? What is taking away from them to make them a B?
An
What's
A-.
taken away from them, they're not really doing anything innovative. It's really not. They're telling great stories and they're doing great cinematics with it.
They're doing it better than anybody else in the industry.
Here's the crazy thing. If this was on Nintendo, you'd be raving about it.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. I wish I would stop saying that because
if these were Nintendo based, if these were Nintendo solos, you would be raving your ass off right now.
I wouldn't. Just
Yes,
the same way the same way I talk shit about Death Stranding. I cannot. Look. First of all, when it comes to me, gameplay comes first and foremost. I could.
So why wouldn't you love these? Why wouldn't you love this developer if gameplay comes first to you? These games have amazing gameplay, but now you're contradicting yourself.
I'm not contradicting. You're just not listening. You're not listening. I didn't say what they was doing was terrible. I'm saying they're really not doing anything that's actually genre defining, that's actually innovative. I'm talking about on a topic of where people. I'm talking about on a topic that we was on that people are trying to put them on this pedestal as a masterful developer. I'm like, first of all, masterful developers actually, make an impact on gaming. They actually do innovation stuff that shift the gaming development. Something like what Capcom did with Resident Evil 4, something like what Nintendo did with Mario 64. I'm talking about things like that. Naughty Dog is just good at 1-2 tricks and they do it very well.
Yeah, but
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. Like,
Capcom's been around for a long time now. If you gave Naughty Dog that much time, they would be on that level of Capcom. Because if you look at Uncharted,
I feel like they are on that.
Naughty Dog been around since like 02. Was it 01 or 02 when they started with Sony? That's a long time.
Capcom been around since like the 80s.
Yeah,
they have. Their revolutionary stuff was way later.
I feel like they are on that level though. What other Resident Evil 4? What other game outside Resident Evil 4 was good like Resident Evil 4? None.
Street Fighter. You know what Street Fighter has done for fighting games?
I don't play fighting games.
Yeah, but no. If you look at Street Fighter, is revolutionary for fighting games. That's like.
But there's no story to it. It's a fighting game.
There is a story to Street Fighter.
I played it. I know. I worked in it.
Street Fighter has a very.
It's a very simple comic book story. It's not no intense story like The Last of Us or Uncharted.
Right.
Naughty Dog hit their stride when they got with Sony, with the Crash games and all of that back in the PlayStation day. So they've been around for a while. You know what I mean? But as of late, it's never been nothing really genre defining or super innovative or something that really impacted the industry. It's just been quality.
Question: you don't think Drinks Uncharted was an innovative game? The fact that you had a game like that where you were immersed and it felt like you were in a movie and it had the gameplay to match it to boot, that wasn't innovative to you?
No, that really wasn't.
Baron, how many other games equal Like how many other games can hold up to something like Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us that are like built around that same concept, story-driven
around that game concept? I mean, they'll probably, to be honest with you, Naughty Dog, they could probably take the number one spot now. I mean, because Capcom, I mean, I put Resident Evil 4 on a very high pedestal because it really revolutionized a lot of shit that goes, in gaming. And that was a very good narrated story. That was excellent gameplay. That game was like a benchmark for something in gaming. So, I mean, Naughty Dog is the one that's really doing it now on that type of level because that's what they're good at. You know what I mean? But doesn't make them among like the greatest. You know what I mean? They're just very good. They're very good at.
But if they're the best at what they do, how do you mark them as a B- studio?
Because they're not doing anything else to push the envelope.
But
they're not putting out trash.
They don't work for Nintendo.
I'm not. No, it ain't that. I'm just saying they're not pushing the envelope. They try to do multiplayer. They can't get multiplayer right. It's like.
Well, no, because I don't agree with you there because I feel like a lot of people like The Last of Us. If you want to say Uncharted 4's multiplayer was watered down and casualized, I would agree with you there. That's probably a B- multiplayer, but that doesn't make it a B- game.
Yeah,
because their world building, their story building, their attention to detail, the fluidity of the gameplay, none of that is B- to me.
None of it. No.
Yeah,
literally none of it. And when you say B- studio, and then turn around and say, well, they do what they do better than anyone else. They got the number one spot. How can that possibly be B-?
That's B- because you should be able to do more than that.
But they already do it better than everyone else.
They're not a multiplayer driven game. The
only thing that
I understand that, but if you're going to dip your way into multiplayer and you can't get it right, you have to bring that up. If you're going to keep bringing out the same type of game, but not really pushing the innovation part, I have to bring that up. That doesn't mean you trash. That doesn't mean you're bad.
Uncharted and Last of Us are two
multiplayer. If Zelda had a multiplayer and it was lackluster, would Zelda now become a B- game?
With the who?
Say that again, Silver.
If Zelda came out with a multiplayer, and the multiplayer was lackluster, would now Zelda be a B- game?
Well, Zelda has had a multiplayer game before, and it wasn't lackluster. So
it must have been because I ain't never heard of that.
I've never heard of a multiplayer Zelda.
Y'all never played Four Swords before? Okay, I mean it wasn't a console game. Yeah, I never played it. But yeah, it's really not a knock. You know what I mean? And some people just take it as a knock. It's not a knock. You know what I mean? Like some people. It's like some people are not Michael Jordan in NBA. Michael Jordan is the cream of the crop. You know what I mean?
Feel like
he's B-.
Always see
but I'm saying if you're somebody like
the refs in his
Klay
pocket.
Thompson or you're Steph Curry, I mean that's still good.
And neither of them are B-. Though.
Yeah, they're not B-. That's like saying Kobe's a B-. LeBron.
No, I wouldn't put Kobe as a B-. So who would you put a B- as equivalent to a player that's in the sport right now?
Draymond Green.
Really? That's too high.
He's not an A.
That's too high, bro.
You say all right. You think that's too much? Draymond plays great defense. He plays his role. He's a role player. I feel like
he's a good role player. You cannot take him off.
Right. You say B-. Gordon Hayward.
A healthy Gordon Hayward. That's a good B- right there.
But that does not equate to a Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Oh, stop. Okay.
Naughty Dog is like Paul George.
Listen here. Every time I watch,
I'll give you that.
I don't know about that one.
Naughty Dog's the Paul George.
No, I don't know about that.
It's at least a Dame Lillard, man. Come on. Man.
Yeah. Hell no. Dame Lillard better than Paul George. No.
Yeah, that's debatable.
Rev's like, quit talking sports.
Naughty Dog is like CJ McCollum. I'll put it like that.
You're tripping.
You'll get some good flash of epicness, and then
that's disrespect.
Hey, Barrett, look here. Every time Naughty Dog releases a demo for one of their games, a long, extensive demo, it always has some new gameplay elements that we haven't seen before.
As far as
like
as
for
far as
instance,
him or what?
Uncharted 4, like when he's swinging and then he lands on the guy, punches him, and then the gun comes out of his hand and he grabs the gun and boom, he starts shooting somebody with the gun he just took from the guy. Where have you ever seen that before?
Bro, that's really like a cinematic thing, though.
It's not though.
In the gameplay.
It's not. The reason why it's not is because it's fluid. It's not a cinematic if it's fluid in the gameplay. It's in the gameplay loop. That in
Look
itself
at Ellie
makes it
dodging in The Last of Us 2. Look at how she's dodging. What other games do you see this in? That's pushing the gameplay forward.
But
Y'all
I mean,
really relating it
some people don't like certain things, man. Maybe he just don't like Naughty Dog style games.
He don't.
It's really not about that. Y'all don't have to get too upset. Like I said, I'm not calling them bad. I'm really not calling them.
but
You're
you're
just calling them a B minus.
I'm just saying, put them on the shelf they belong on. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're
but
right above a C plus.
Oh no, not a C plus. You know.
Right above it.
They'll be minus, man. They'll be minus until they can show me they can make a game that has a really good multiplayer and they could actually give me some real innovation on the third person genre, because that's pretty much what they like to do, only the third person type of shooter type stuff. Then I could talk about them, you know, and they got to have their catalog has to expand too. They haven't done that much lately, you know. So
yeah, because they take their damn time with their games.
I have no problem with that. Take as much time as you want. I'm an advocate.
Do it right. Don't pump a bunch of them out.
Hey,
you start spitting out games, you get what? Sea of Thieves.
Trash.
Yeah.
Oh God, don't say Sea of Thieves.
I'm just saying, man. You know, the quality's there. When Naughty Dog makes a game, you know the quality's going to be there.
Yeah, 100%.
Quality versus quantity.
But hey, it's 11:02, people. We are out of time. We're at the 2-hour mark. I'll be damned if I go past that. Before the 4th of July.
That went by quick.
Yeah, it did. It did go by quick. I can't believe it. I was thinking we were going to do an hour here. That was a good cast, everybody. Let's start on with the outros. Vic.
Good podcast, everybody. It was good to be back. Good topics tonight. Good input from everybody.
Baron.
Yeah, good stuff tonight. You know, I knew everybody was gonna get their panties in a bunch about the Naughty Dog comment, but I'm pretty sure, as I've seen on Twitter, the rest of the world agrees with what I'm saying. So, and put some respect on Resident Evil 4's name. I've seen a lot of fuckery in the chat about Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 was a very big benchmark when it came out on GameCube. There was nothing like that going on in the game.
I bought a GameCube just for Resident Evil 4.
So y'all need to stop with that Resident Evil 4 trash stuff. So
I bought the Twin Snakes on the GameCube too.
I bought that on GameCube as well.
Yeah, awesome. Silver.
Hey, just want to sign out. Great cast, everybody. Also, everybody look for me on Twitter, the Silverback 57. I'm also gonna start tweeting a lot more, putting out some workouts for the homebodies who want to start getting the gym bodies.
How to Get Smaller by Silverback.
Oh God! Hey, listen, if you want to be a little guy, you can listen to Rev. If you want to be big and make gains, come find the Silverback. I got you.
Okay, Mr. LJ Coughlin's Law.
Sorry about the technical difficulties at the beginning. Hopefully all is good now. I thought it was fun. I had a blast. Baron, Silver, Vic, fun trash talking. Rev, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you didn't do too bad, man. You didn't do too
I
bad.
told you once I got it going, it'll be all right.
You buckle under the pressure, man. You
No,
know
not at all. Piece of cake.
I know you get worked up real easy, so I was ready to put you on mute.
Hey, Rev, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of worried about LJ.
I was too. You know, he's real timid in person. Isn't he?
Timid my ass.
Yeah, he did a good
Real
job.
shaky around the big guys, you know?
Yeah.
So, good for a little fella.
I just want to say, your chat is going nuts, bruh. Look, look.
It's in a good way though.
Y'all
right?
love Uncharted. I'm just gonna say this again. Y'all love Uncharted. That's nice. You love Uncharted. You love your Last of Us. But Uncharted and Last of Us did not do what Resident Evil 4 did. That's just facts, people. Like y'all can get over yourselves, bro.
Baron, I love Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. 4, I didn't even buy the damn thing.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't buy Resident Evil 4?
That's
No.
crazy.
That's the co-op one, right?
LJ, you
No,
took-
Two-player
that's
one?
5.
That's fine.
Was that 5?
Hey,
4?
no,
I don't even
4.
remember what 4 was. I skipped 4 too.
you're tripping.
Four was in Spain. That was the real good one.
Dude, 4 is awesome. 4
amazing.
is one of my
Was
favorite games ever.
Yeah.
I've played Resident Evil 4 on just about every platform.
It's on everything. It's even on iOS.
Yeah.
That shit was on the, that shit was on the
broke it
Ouya.
out on the Switch. I ain't even gonna lie.
That game is in my top 5 of greatest of all time.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal
It's an amazing game.
game. Mhm.
And it's crazy how well it's aged. Like you can still play that game.
Dude, still a lot of games are aging very, very poorly. Like I went back to Uncharted 2 on the collection at 60 FPS. Dude, I do not like Uncharted 2. I'm just trying to tell you, man, just shooting mechanics feel terrible.
Yeah.
And Drake feels like he's floating when he moves everywhere.
Yeah.
It just feels terrible, man. It didn't age good. And back when I first beat it, I loved it. I was like, this is one of the best games I ever played.
Yeah, Uncharted 2 was
That game
still
had
my favorite.
the whole time.
Aged very, very badly, but RE4 holds up. Dead Space holds up. You can go back and play Dead Space.
And
That
Dead
game
Space
is
was
so good,
still,
even
bro.
still.
They robbed that company.
Yeah, that sucks,
Yeah.
man.
Forcing
Really
all those loot boxes in co-op. That was never what it was meant for.
Hey, LJ, real quick before we head out, you said that you beat Resident Evil 2. Now, you're not much of a gamer these days. I find that you
I'm
have
more
a
of a
hard
gamer now than I was in, say, the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, but you have a hard time playing video games. If you
I
beat
get
Resident
distracted.
Evil 2, why have you not purchased the remake and played
I've
that?
already beat it.
I don't think you can beat this one.
It's going to be the same game.
No, it
I don't
won't.
matter. I don't think you can.
It's better.
I don't think you can aim.
It's just newer. How do you not aim? It's the same aim.
I don't think you can.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I beat Red Dead, and you can't aim in that, you say?
It's auto aim.
What? No.
Yeah,
It's auto
auto
off.
Red Dead's auto aim.
Yes.
Not when I play it.
Oh bullshit! Turn it off then.
It's off. You'll see
Oh
tomorrow.
bullshit! No, it's not. I went to your house. It is not off.
You'll see tomorrow.
Anyways, all right, everybody. Appreciate everybody coming out. Everybody have a good 4th of July. Good cast, everybody. And we'll holler at you
Peace.
later.
Peace.
Astral Chain Gang, baby.
Oh my god.
Wait, hey, you're a shitbag for not coming out.